Imagine you're enjoying a beautiful summer day. The sun's shining, the breeze feels nice, you don't have a care in the world. Then, as if in the blink of the eye, the sky turns black. You heard in the news that there was a hurricane coming, but the day was so nice that you didn't pay it any mind. It was supposed to be small, or so you thought. In the blink of an eye, your world can go from light and carefree to dark and terrifying. This is a common feeling during a natural disaster. Natural disasters leave countless numbers of people vulnerable, scared, and alone. According to Kavitha Davidson, Associate World Editor of the Huffington Post, more than 30 million people fled their homes in 2012 because of disasters such as flood, storms, and earthquakes. With the help of individuals like us, we can help aid these people impacted by natural disasters. In order for you to better help those in need, I want to explain the importance of donating to natural disaster relief funds by using the FEMA method, which stands for Food and Water.
Wait, we can't see it. Okay.
Food and water, electricity, materials, and accessibility. So you all know that there are many different types of natural disasters. They can range from hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, and there's many more. As current residents of the Midwest, we've all seen our fair share of snowstorms. Some of you may be aware that I'm from the Gulf Coast of Mississippi, and being on the Gulf Coast, there's a lot of hurricanes. Obviously, the most recent and well-known hurricane would be Hurricane Katrina, and that was 10 years ago. Natural disasters can happen without warning and can grow to be more dangerous than you could ever imagine. The F in our FEMA method stands for food and water. This is definitely the most essential after a natural disaster. Pamela Knowles, author of Risk Approaches for Delivering Disaster Relief Supplies, said, especially in post-disaster situations, it is necessary to provide drinking water for population members within a distance that is reasonable for them to traverse. If the affected people have to cover a long distance in order to receive drinking water, they might prefer to use raw water from a source nearer to their homes, risking illnesses and epidemics. I remember vividly after Katrina going on a walk with my dad down the debris-filled road that was once so familiar. We were walking to the local volunteer fire station where FEMA was set up. It was about a half a mile away from our home. Our neighbors drove past us on their four-wheelers and ATVs, all in pursuit of one thing: water. By donating canned goods or bottled water, you are helping supply countless people with the sustenance they need to survive. These funds are designed to help as fast as they can, but they need your help to do so. E stands for electricity. According to the class survey, the longest anyone had ever been without electricity is 3 days. Imagine going 23 like we did after Katrina. Millions of people were without power and for a long period of time, which means they had no way to cook, no way to boil the water to clean it, and no way to keep food fresh. I also remember the blistering heat that followed the days after Katrina. It was as if there weren't torrential downpours just the days prior and we were now in a drought. We were talking in 100 degrees. Stack this with no air conditioning and the Mississippi humidity, you've got for a miserable combination. The M for materials was probably the least important but most impactful. People lost their homes, their belongings, their life's work, sentimental items, and most importantly, they lost memories. According to Sonia Luker, author of Natural Disasters Leaving People Homeless, in the past 2 decades, 141 million people worldwide have lost their homes due to 3,559 natural disasters such as floods, windstorms, and earthquakes. Alice Jackson, a Hurricane Katrina survivor, said, "I've lived on the Mississippi coast for 30 years. I've been through 4 or 5 hurricanes and countless tropical storms. Before Katrina came through, I thought, if my house gets washed away, I'll just stay at my mother's house or my brother's house. Never thinking all of our homes would be destroyed. But they were, so everyone in my family is now a refugee." Alice Jackson, along with thousands of others, lost everything she ever owned in the natural disaster. There's nothing you can do to prevent it, and you have to start over from scratch. As college students, you may not have much money, but you all have some clothing that you never wear that's in your closet, or you can buy some kind of dollar canned good from the dollar store. Donating your clothes or food may seem like a small contribution, but it's more than what Alice Jackson had after the storm. The final letter in our acronym stands for accessibility. After the storm, roads were destroyed, trees had fallen, and there was debris everywhere. You felt trapped and like you had nowhere to go. Residents who stayed through the storm were forced to wait until the roads were clear to go out in search of supplies or even help. When they were able to leave their shelters, most were forced to travel miles on foot. The hurricanes destroyed more than just people's homes. Throughout the Gulf Coast, 44 highway bridge systems were damaged beyond use. This limited traffic entering and exiting any area, and it also caused a real problem for supplies to get there. Today, I've discussed a few reasons why you should donate to National Disaster Relief Funds. When Rosalia Holstetter, a Kansas resident, heard that a tornado had wiped out 90% of a small neighboring town, she took action. Through donated items and funds, she set up a free shop in that town. She was able to provide the essentials to 150 victims of that tornado. Now, I'm not asking you to go set up your own shop to make a difference in the lives of natural disaster victims. Simply donating some essential supplies can truly make an impact. There's going to be disasters everywhere. Do what you can to help others weather the storm.
Cool.